they do have descriptions in there, so you can read on that and see what is works for you. So we have also one of another session we have each and every heptad is aligning with the evolving cycles of time, knowledge and meditation session. So that is each and every Friday, which is on Dolly, and it does begin at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is facilitated by Maya and Makaru Amen, High Priestess. We are in the year of the Blue Rhythmic Storm right now. So you can check that out. And we also have the dope post. Brother Akil, he brings that on in, sets that up, and definitely breaks down a lot. So you have to check that out. So yes, the next one coming up is going to be on the yellow planetary star Kin 116. So yes, and just the question to for you to uh, do on your own or answer that in your own way. What is your quest in life? What is your quest in life? That is the question. So you can take that down, jot that down, and then come join us Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a one of the newer books that Maya has written. She has written a book for what the young ladies, the young girls. She has been working with them so much lately, and then here she comes with a book. So she has a book for them, and it is so nice. It's Umi the Creator. So check that out. That is to teach them their power now. It is available on Amazon. So, yeah, if you have any young ladies in your life and you would like to gift them a book, this is a beautiful book that they would, I'm sure, would enjoy. So, yeah, you can check that out. And that is a new book for the young ladies. We have a self study session. So this one is a self study, and this is for the divine feminine and the divine masculine. It does go into a few different topics. You can check that out on the website as well. There is a discount code. It's 50% off. So if you want to use that discount code to book that self-study session, you can use the discount code, and that is Divine9, Divine, and the number 9. And it is, are you ready to get wet? What is womb evolution technique? So it goes into trauma healing, learning about your cosmic anatomy, bettering your relationships, and just being able to go through that session and in a safe space. So that is available as well. So that is one of the sessions you can do on your own. And always you can reach out to Maya Makaru. She will be available for any questions if you do book that. So we have, oh, this beautiful flyer. I wonder who then created this. It is Let's Celebrate the Natural Time Together on July 25th. So this is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia at the Cohen Park. So this is the Day at a Time celebration. This is the second annual Day at a Time celebration. So if you are available, you're going to be in the area. If you already have registered, I'm sure you got all the information already. But this here is going to be a beautiful event. I know because of the beautiful priestess that has put all her time and energy into this. So yes, this is the Day at a Time, and they have all the information here. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot. I will go over some of the information that is on here. However, there is some I think you can contact Priestess Mutmayat if you have any other questions, or go to Synchronistic Human website as well. And that would be Synchronistic Human, HUEMAN.com/events. And yes, her information is here. So it's Yogini9 at synchronistichuman.com. So that is coming up. really, really soon. So it's the sunrise, forgiveness meditation. They also have the big celebration, which begins at 10:30 a.m. And that is with music and community circles, spiritual activation, family friendly vibes, offerings as well. And then there is also catered brunching and potluck. So that is going to be beautiful. Definitely send over donations to help with anything else that they need, and for you to join them as well. That is to support the food and cost of everything else going on within that event. So you can send over the donation and any of your love donations as well, even if you're not able to make it. The Cash App is Etznab Pro. So ETZNABPRO, and that is on Cash App. So a day to unify, evolve, and to be fully present in the moment of now for later. You and us art portals. You and us art the calendars and synchronistic human of time and space. Ashe, ashe. Yes, so this is hosted by the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment. So they do have a registration. So there is that information on there as well. So go to register. You can go to synchronistichuman.com/event. So definitely register if you have not already. I'm sure you have if you know you're going to be there, but definitely register. Try is okay. Priestess Moot, my eye is here. I'm not sure if you wanted to say anything on this event. I know that it's coming up soon. So we will, all right, well, okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to continue on. If we do bring her on up, we will always go right on back to the slide for that. So with that, we will have also the convergence is coming up. This right here is just the save the date, just so you guys know that is coming up in the, during the fall equinox of 2025. And it will be in the Georgia mountains. So this is a sacred call for galactic unity and power on Earth. This is the annual convergence, melanated gods and goddesses convergence, I should say. So yes, that is coming up. Some more information will be coming up soon. So if you have you're on the email list, I'm sure you'll have that soon. But it is going to be a pretty dope event as well with sound baths, nature walks. They have a lot in the works with frequency sigil, chant, the Earth Sutra, and just being able to network with one another in that just beautiful environment. So yes, that is coming up. Definitely take a look out for any of that additional information that they will provide. That's coming up soon. We have the womb evolution. She who remembers, divine feminine coaching with high priestess. So there is a few different ones that you can choose from. If you would like to find out some more information, you can go to email high priestess herself and go to high priestess at melanatedimmortals.com. You can also send over a text if you would like. And that number is 240-556-6837. And that there is for you to find out some more information. So yeah, she who journeys is a 3-month private rebirth journey. She who rises is for the wise woman's path for Black women 50 and up, entering their second womb season. And then another one is She Who Remembers. The circle is a 6-week group rebirth journey. So go ahead and grab that information and send over an email if you would like. You can always, you have the information for the text as well. And thank you for putting that information up. That is for the day at a time information if you want to send over for the Cash App. I did also see the email as well. So thank you for that. And this here is the donations going towards the platform. And that is any love donations that you would like to send on over. And the Cash App for that is $ Urban Mayat. You can also go to paypal.me/Mayat Foundation. And Neb Taharka, he has done an amazing job with Synchronistic Human School, and his Cash App is here as well, and that is also like I've mentioned, the Day at a Time event. So that his Cash App is $Blue Storm 239, and anything does it really does go a long way. So if that is on your heart, definitely take that information down and send the love donation. So with that, that's the end of our announcements this evening. Um, so we will go ahead and bring on up High Priestess. Thank you. I send my gratitude, my gratitude to you, just for always just what you have built, what you are building, what you always include everyone that is within Mimic and everything, and just being available. But I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I'm always and always honored to be here in this position just to be able to introduce you. So I love you. And I'm going to yield the mic. And with that, I do thank you all for joining us this evening. And yeah, so I will see you all the next time. Peace. Enjoy the rest of the evening.
The high priestess of Mimic who pulled me in. The high priestess of Mimic who pulled me in. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness. Amen. The high priestess of Mimic who pulled me in. Amen. Amen. The high priestess of Mimic who pulled me in. Amen. It's time we come together to raise our consciousness.
All right. Greetings, greetings. Am I being heard? All right. Am I being heard? If you can just indicate in the chat. I think I am. All right. Give thanks, give thanks. All right. So welcome everyone to the Melanin Frequency Vigil. And I thank you all for being here this evening. As you know, we have been transmitting this frequency since the fall equinox of 2019. And we are closing out this year of our actualizing divine power on earth. And so very, very excited about the upcoming events that we have. As you know, here at Mimic, we do 4 events annually on the solstices as well as the equinox. So we do have our Melanin Frequency Vigil coming up on the fall equinox of 2019. We'll be up in the Georgia mountains. And so we're looking forward to seeing everyone there. You can find out more information about that by going to our website, melaninimmortals.com/events. And you'll see it there. Also, we'll see you guys at Day Out of Time. Definitely, I'll be there. So if you're interested in any in-person meetings or consultations with me, holla at me, High Priestess at melaninimmortals.com. We definitely love to see you there at the Day Out of Time. So yes. So very excited to be here. Thank you so much, Ken 122, for being our hostess. It is definitely an honor and a pleasure to have you be here and being dedicated to hosting this session. So I do thank you for that. Also, shout out to Priestess Moot Ma'at Nefer Habibullah. We're going to hear from her a little later. And all of y'all, right? All right. So here we go. Here we go. All right. So around this time, July 2020, we transmitted frequency wave 42 that says we move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. We move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. We move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe. Oh, all right. Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this wave, this frequency wave. And so when I was looking at it, I said, this is pretty interesting. What does it take for this to be so? Now, I wanna roll this back for a second and have us go back to, why did we decide to put these frequency waves together in the first place? Right? As you know, the mission of Mimic is to shift the global consciousness of the melanin dominant population and establish an everlasting legacy of high frequency beings with immortal health and immortal wealth through the application and remembrance of cosmic knowledge. Right? And so then from there came a frequency to do just that, to shift the global consciousness. Because if we shift our consciousness, it's going to shift all the consciousness. Right? Everywhere. It's going to shift consciousness everywhere. And so these frequencies, each of the 52 of them, they deal with some of the points, or sometimes some of them deal with some obstacles. Some of them are reminders. Some of them are declarations, right? To keep our consciousness keep fixed on this new, more advanced, more abundant frequency that does allow us to actualize divine power on earth. Right? It's my perspective that any one of us that came in this, that incarnated in this physical form, and we are now awakened to what it means to be in this physical form, right? That we resourced ourselves, we source again, right? In the physical, here to touch and feel things in the third dimension, helping to align them with these other dimensions so that we are whole. My perspective, right? And the trick is to remember that we whole, right? The trick is to remember who we are, our species as the Most High, Goddess on earth, God on earth, divine being on earth, right? And to always stand in that from no matter what. And some of the things that we have navigated through in this remembrance is how to remove the tethers or the restraints, because I'm going with this frequency, right? The things that keep us tethered to this world of problems, of traumas, of karma, of drama, situations, circumstances, and predicaments that keep us tethered. So if we fully intend to move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world, what does that look like? What does it take to be able to move freely? Let's go down the line. Let's in the physical world. When what is promoted, and I'm gonna say what's promoted, okay, is a lot of, we see ICE coming in, and I know the one where they got beat down trying to get the Haitians, right? They weren't going. Right. And then the fear of, well, shoot, if they gonna do that, how far they gonna roll that back? Right. Right there. I was saying this to someone, I don't know if it was today, yesterday, I can't remember. It all rolls together. So right there, if we start there, that's not source. You see what I'm saying? When we start from the tether, from the restraints, the restraints say the government is doing this, that, and the other. And so then what happens is we keep trying to free ourselves from the restraint, right? Instead of operating from source. And source is multidimensional, right? Multi-layered consciousness, multi mentality. Like it's huge. It can't be restrained. That's a a particle. And how small is a particle? Right? So if we start from there, then it's already done. Right? When we say we move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and the spiritual world, then our baseline is not in response. We are the sponsors. Right? It's not in reaction to something, because how long are we going to just sit and every time somebody do something, or these people in these offices and behind the scenes around the table and say, hey, let's move the whole world this way. In 2019, we came up with our own frequency that say we are going to shift the consciousness this way, that allows us to move freely, unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. Now, I know it might seem like, oh, well, that ain't working. But this is the thing. When you are, it's like, how long did it take for us to get to where we are now with the restraints? And we think if we say it one time, two times, or we have a big event one time, that it's going to change everything? Or do we need to be persistent and keep a frequency going that continues to radiate and transmit through melanin, which is a polymer, a neurotransmitter, a neuroreceiver, and a neurotransducer? And we just continue, right, to transmit these frequencies. And we do it physically. We put it in the water. We talk to the water every year. when we have our melanin frequency, um, our convergence every year, fall equinox, we have a water ceremony, and we speak it into the water, and we put it into a larger body of water. Don't think that that's not doing nothing. Okay, and we continue it. We even have a whole priesthood that's dedicated to transmitting these frequencies. That's not doing nothing. It has to start somewhere with those like us who are dedicated, who are okay with being on the ground floor, grassroots, because we see a larger vision of how this is going to support us and the legacy of us into future years. 100 years from now, right? Our legacy is going to be able to say, wow, I remember when my mama and them, my grandmama and them, my aunties, my cousins, or we might be on there saying, we remember when we put this frequency down, when there was just 16 of us on here. And we kept transmitting that frequency, and we kept going every year to this convergence. And we see now that this whole we don't even know what they're talking about. We don't have these experiences anymore. We don't have a government like that anymore. We don't have people sitting behind desks deciding what the whole world is going to do. The people are free and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. Now, some people might say, well, shit, wait a minute, hold on. There's some crazy people out here. Here's the thing. Why are they crazy? Maybe they need to be physically restrained. Most people, if you follow these serial killers and crazy people or whatever, you go to their background, something happened to them. When we say we are shifting the consciousness, we're looking at shifting the consciousness so that nobody is in a point of deficit, of danger, of defeat, at war. So we stop producing beings that come through that kind of experience. New beings. Or Nubians. Hey, new beings. I know. That can come in and shift and shape this world to another place. Let's talk about mental restraints. I'm going to come back to spiritual. Right? What does it take to move freely in your mind, your mental, creating the mental state that's so strong that it shows up physically? Right? If you decide, listen, all I know, okay, I can't work from this reacting and responding to everything that I'm hearing about. Right? What I know is that I will move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. So what is that? What is that going to take? It may take what we're talking about right now, what we're seeing unraveling right now. It may take that. And maybe, perhaps, what we're looking at is not what we think it is. It might be this frequency that we said. And so that everything gets to, it unravels itself. because we don't need that no more. We don't need what do they call it? The Illuminati and the so-called elites and all of these people that are supposedly running the whole world. Nobody needs that anymore. This is a new frequency. This is a new energy. We ain't even creating no more mofos like them. We get to decide what comes to this planet. And if you are a melanin dominant female, you know what we talking about, right? We get to decide. If you're a melanin dominant male, right? Program your seed with this frequency. All 52 of them. There will be no more. You understand? No more. No more of this consciousness. We will vibrate at a frequency that no longer allows it. This is why we call ourselves the legacy holders. This is why we have a melanin frequency. No more knuckleheads. Because we can't even vibrate at a frequency that allows it into this plane. Right? So no longer will it won't meet up like that. And so what we're doing is laying the groundwork here, right? So let's talk about what it takes to move freely. You have to give up your resistance, right? To fighting everything and everybody. I didn't say let them, fight you. And, I think this gives another, I thought about another perspective to that turn the other cheek, right? If you turn it, okay, it might be maybe a different perspective on that is to look at a different frequency. If you're looking in this direction, you're going to get slapped. But then when you turn and you look at the truth and how you can vibrate in a different frequency, ain't going to be no slaps. Right? You ain't nothing, nothing is coming this way. Look at it in another way. And how do you do that? By understanding and trusting who you really are on this planet. And what you're really restrained to. Are you restrained to whatever the government say? Are you really? I asked somebody this question. I said, well, wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, it's somebody up there saying do this, do that, do that. But who carries it out? Right? You mean to tell me the people that carry it out don't have no consciousness? The consciousness is shifting. Period. People they not set up like that no more mentally. So, it may not be what it looks like. Turn the other cheek, see something else. It might be a whole different thing than what it looks like. We're so used to looking at things as being at war, being in danger, being defeated, being in deficit, right? We're so used to looking at things that way. What if we look at it another way? What if we just keep making the decision that we will move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world? And what does it take to do that? Divine trust in who you are. It takes a decision that your mental space is so strong that it's going to create your reality. Now, if everybody is creating a reality that says we're going to move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world, that's what's going to happen. Period. Why? Because you are the creator on earth. And when you say let there be light, there's I'm about to cuss. There's Emma effing light. That's why. And it takes you a freedom of realizing that you don't have to react to everything that comes up. You ain't got to post up about everything. You don't have to be in deficit, in danger, defeated, at war with everything. What if you decided not to be at war? I didn't say walk around and skip with daisies and stuff like that. You just, hey, wait a minute, there's another way for me to look at this. We have all the information we need, right? How many master teachers have come before us and told us who we are? Told us about melanin, told us about consciousness, right? And we researched and we studied, we OD'd on all that stuff. It's action time, implementation time, divine power on earth time. And to be unrestrained physically and mentally, that mental has to be so strong that it creates the reality that we say. And if everybody, even the small number that's on here, right, decide that we are going to um, move freely, unrestrained, and physical in the spiritual and mental world, that's huge. Why? Because, okay, I decided right now that my frequency then spreads out all in around where I am, in every place that I am. And then the next person they're spread and they're spread. It's like what was that? I was reading about the ring technology. Right? They say shit, you ain't gotta get no ring, it no matter. If 3 of your neighbors got it, we got the whole area covered. They said they have 85% of the planet covered by the Apple network because of how many people got Apple phones. It's the same thing. How many people down with the melanin frequency? And we got everything else covered. We don't need everybody. We shifting the global consciousness. That's all we know. And all we know is we're going to move freely and unrestrained in the physical and spiritual and mental world. And when you are free and unrestrained by your own mind, by the way that you see things, it's not about what this other person that's trying to do this to you. And that's danger and deficit, defeat, right? War, conflict consciousness. That's what that is. What do you think about you? And what have you decided about you? Now, it does not happen overnight. I say this all the time. It's a process. And it's persistent. It's a walk. When you make these decisions that you are unrestrained, that means you are unrestrained. That means you have released your own restrictions, your own mental and physical restrictions. It's not about everybody else. That's how you make that. I like how we say this bubble, right? That's how you make the bubble bigger and bigger and bigger. This is how you expand more, because the more you release your tether, you release a tether, it expands. You release another, it expands. You release another, it expands. Like, anybody seen what was that movie? I love the line. What was that movie? Oh, Miss Marvel, I think it was, right? Right. And so she had all this power. And then she said, you know what the problem is? I've been doing this with one hand tied behind my back. Right. And then she broke the tether that they had. Even though she had the power, when she broke that tether, it was over at full tilt. That's us on here. Right. How does that look spiritually? It's in every dimension. You just tapping into the truth about who you are, your source, where you come from, your divine spirit, right? And you keep that is the center. It stays there, don't go nowhere. Even when you go to sleep, I say this all the time, even your dreams. You ain't never not you. You ain't never not source. Period. It's through and through. It don't matter what dimension, what time period, whatever. If you practice this, you say these things to yourself on a regular basis, it will be you at all times. Y'all know my story. I say it all the time. I used to practice years and years ago. I used to practice this, going in the grocery store, sitting in the car, washing dishes, sweeping, mopping, cleaning, cooking. Reminding myself of who I am. I'm God on earth. I'm God on earth. And then it's just all the time. It's in my dreams. It's so funny. I was telling somebody, I was in one of my dreams, I got too far into, just being whatever the character was in the dream. And then all of a sudden I said, oh, I'm God on earth. And then boom, switch in my dreams. And it's not just one time, it's all the time. Because I know that if I hold this frequency, it's going to expand. And then the next person gonna hold it, and the next person, and then we all holding hands, and then we done got the whole. Right now, with what we got on here, we done got the planet covered. Right? Now let's go into all the dimensions that the planet has. Let's go into all of the spaces and places that are physical, mental, and spiritual. Right? And line up with the cosmos. I say we are more powerful than we know. I say, yep. So we allow divinity to do, right? If we trust our divinity, sometimes you got to say that to yourself, because it'd be some stuff that comes up, right? It'd be some stuff that comes up, and some stuff that comes up and says, okay, you divine power on earth. Oh, really? That's who you are? Oh, okay. Let's see. Right? Let me show you some of your old stuff. Let me show you some stuff that you used to do and you used to be. Right? Let me show you that. And then you may go and look at that tether first, until you realize you've been practicing not looking at tethers no more. And you say, you know what? I operate unrestrained. I move unrestrained, physically, mentally, and spiritually. This is something that's going to help me strengthen my divine power on earth. It's helping me to stand strong on this foundation of creation, stand strong on being source on earth, and not use this illusion and not to go back into it. I'm gonna stand over here, and guess what? And like I said, turning the other cheek, looking in another direction. That's the one that you need to be in, not this one where you keep getting beat down. Right? Not that one. Don't look over there, because if you look over there, you're gonna get slapped. But if you look this way, ain't gonna be no slap. You catch that hand, right? You don't even look over there. You just can't. Yeah, no, it will be no more, because now I remember myself, right? And you have to trust that who you are will move all of this into action, right? All of this into how you express yourself and in your divine power on earth, right? So what I want to do is I want to hear from y'all. What y'all think about this? I'm gonna put a link here. I'm gonna put this link. I see you, Patrick. Let me see. I'll put this link here, and I invite you to come into the studio. And let's talk about how you activate this divine power on earth. I'd love to hear from y'all. All right, come on, Starfly. I see you. I move unrestrained physically, mentally, and spiritually. Ashe. Ashe, ashe. All right. Come on, y'all putting it in the chat. Somebody want to come up and speak about it? All right. Okay, so we got Brother Patrick. I'm going to add you to the stage. And I yield the mic.
Oh, I'm on the stage now. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I ain't been on the stage in a while. How has everybody been, first of all? And then second, how I'm actualizing my divine power on earth is sitting in no ma'am. No ma'am. Goodbye, young lady. No, bye. Not right now. I'm talking. Goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Anyway, y'all. Um, how I actualize it is actually leaning into my divinity, like you said, and understanding that I am the power. Uh, I told you guys a while back that I had gone outside. It was thundering one day. I had gone outside and received the grounding. Just sat outside in the lightning and thunder before the storm, the actual rain got to my house or whatever. So today I did the same thing, and that grounding helped me realize an actual and understand that that is who I am, and to focus and just trust in myself, right? And then all the synchronicities pop off all the time, especially going through these past portals, these last few plasmas, is showing me that we are actualizing our time, our power. Um, I had something very strange happen with my timing. With my timing, the other night, just before I got onto the past portals, I thought I had overslept, right? I had missed my alarm, I had missed my wake up, and I looked at my clock and it said 4:30 a.m. But another clock in my house said 3:30 a.m. And so I'm in Central Standard Time. So I was like, I thought I might miss it. I thought I missed it. Dang, I didn't get up in time. But something just told me, no, go on anyway. And what happened was it was the correct time. Now, for all of you who have not been here, and for all of you who have been here for a while, when you start to actualize and uh, our divine power here on earth, and knowing what we're doing with the law of time, you start to realize that we can time jump and we can time slip, and sometimes it happens and you don't even know it. And so that's what happened. So I decided to start doing some timing things, and HP, I'm doing a thing called Wayet right now. And Wayet is I'm going back and correcting some time errors and some other things that I'm working on. And so that's how I'm actualizing my divine power and my divinity is I'm going back and working on the things that I need to work on and correcting some of the things in the timeline and realizing that we're doing some amazing work here. Um, with Mimic and with the Synchronistic Human School of Enlightenment, and just trusting everything that we're doing, trusting that I am a perfect reflection and you all are perfect reflections, especially when we get into spaces like this and we share these spaces, trusting that I am in vibratory alignment with you all and you all in vibratory alignment with me, and we're all in vibratory alignment with the Most High, the divine source, God, whatever you want to say, and that we are um living in the new time. We're actually just living in time, because we can go back and we can correct the errors, and then we can continue to move forward. So just trust that, know that, and then yeah, I thank y'all for sharing y'all's vibration, holding space for me, knowing that those of you that have been here with me and been rocking with me know that being the lunar warrior is a hard task because I'm polarizing all the time and I'm going all down all these different paths, but I will come back to home, and this is always going to be home. Mimic is always going to be home. The melanin frequency vigil is always going to be home because we have to transmit the melanin frequency, or we don't know what will happen, but I know we're transmitting now, so we know what's going to happen because we are gods and goddesses on earth. So, peace.
Ashe, Ashe, give thanks for that. Yeah, and I love the Wyatt. That's what's up. That's what's up. All right. Let me bring forward. Let me see. I got 141. All right, I yield the mic.
Greetings, y'all. Peace and love. 236, you said it all. Like I was just over here like in so much agreement. Like you had me rising higher and higher and higher. Like literally, like we are time. So for me listening, it was just like everything just resonated, but we are in that resonant tone. Um I was thinking about what you were saying about tethering with the woman, the movie. I don't know what movie that was, but I remember telling Baba Neb a few months back, like I literally saw myself, like in my subconscious mind, like chained. Like I was in a cell, my arms were chained, all of that. And so like I was trying to remember something and it was painful. And then I saw myself like I couldn't remember, I couldn't, and then every so often I would like, as I'm studying, I go check back, like what's going on? Like, am I free yet? And it's been about maybe I want to say it's been like maybe about like maybe 3 moons or so, where I remember telling Baba Neb, like I saw myself free, like I would see one arm get freed and the next arm free, and then it was one plasma where I walked out of that cell and I closed that door. And I've already been having so much going on spiritually, and even I know sharing inside the group, like things just been happening with me. And so even that feeling of being pulled for time travel or whatever it is from awakened state, like I made my mind up not to resist it. So I'm excited for when it does happen. But like most of like the time travel and everything like that happens, like for the most part when I'm sleeping, when I'm resting. And I'm really, 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 really like, for me to understand, like this is my second past portal, like knowingly understand what was going on. Like I had the first past portals I went through, I think was it September, October last year. So this is and that was intense, but for like now to understand, like, listen to UHP, the other plasma for the aligning the cycles, explaining what the past portals are. I'm like, oh, okay, that's why all this past stuff coming up, because like the first past portal I was seeing, my ancestors and everything. And so like even like this plasma, for instance, I've been wearing my hair tied up like for about, really, I guess, since the portals open. Like I bought a white head wrap, like the elastic one, and I've been, wrapping my hair each plasma. And um I encountered someone who, is not into African nothing. They don't like African culture, and they African, but they don't like African culture. They don't like African nothing. They don't, And so when I encountered this person earlier, I had my hair wrapped up, and she's like, "Oh, well, it looks nice, And she was like, "You want you must got an African man to help you tie it up." And I had to really think about, what I was going to say, because in the past, I've let her have it. And so, I'm thinking, don't go there. That's the past. You are right to be you in your divinity. You don't have to explain anything to anyone. Just and I'm thinking, like, what's wrong with an African brother who can help me tie my hair? But I'm understanding mentally, what she was doing. And I said, no, I could learn how to, wrap my hair myself, and I'm all right to be able to do that. And earlier again, this plasma, I was talking to a sister who was saying, how hard it is. Like, I freely, like, I just been free with it, for the most part, where I feel, sometimes even where it's not received sometimes. But if I'm in conversation, I've decided not to be apologetic. You know what I'm saying? I, you know what? I do. I see all of that. All of this stuff that I'm experiencing. And she was like, it's just so hard to be able to freely express that. Like, most people maybe look at you like you crazy or whatever. And I told her, I said, you know what? You got a whole group. You got a whole group. I'm gonna invite you to this melanin frequency. That we are here, and it's all right to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I just embrace it. Like, I'm tired of, feeling like we need to apologize for being divine. All of our spiritual gifts that have been told to us that they're curses, or there's something negative, or it's witchcraft, or it's blasphemy and all of that. While our enemies turn around and use those same energies for negativity, for oppressing us, for oppressing people, for destruction here on our planet, in our dimension. Nah, baby, that's not gonna work. And so yes, baby, this melanin frequency, like, I'm feeling it. I love it. We are freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. Ashe. Yes, I'll get you some peanut butter.
Ashe. Hey, Amy. Give that girl. Listen, you shut it down. I love you gave the perfect example of what that means. Like, I think about one of the things you said about the sister that was talking about your head wrap, and how, in the past you may have let her have it, right? And because you ain't even thinking about stuff from that perspective, you're not offended, because you ain't on that frequency no more. You over here. And so you hear it, but you don't hear it the same way. It doesn't tether you to conflict consciousness. You're untethered, unrestrained from that, right? And then what was the the dream, the vision you had. and how you saw yourself being free from those tether. I love it. I mean, it was just a beautiful reflection of what this whole frequency is about, and how the mental state creates it in the physical, so that you operate, you move like that. That's how you move. And yeah, you ain't got to apologize for it. I love it, love it, love it. All right. So I thank y'all for coming through. Is there anyone else? Anyone else? Let me make sure. Going once, I'm gonna put the link back here. Uh, going once, going twice. All right. Let me know. All right. So I don't see anyone else coming up to the stage. I do thank you all. Thank you, Brother Patrick, for your reflection and 141, for giving us the perfect reflection based on this frequency and what it looks like, what the experience looks like. So definitely appreciate that. Appreciate y'all for sharing and just being very dedicated to bringing on these reflections. So stay on with us for a second, so we can focus and chant. If you got something from Ashe Star, she sure did. Ashe. Um, if you want to, um, uh, we want to remember, right? Oh, stay on with us to get the energy. Like if what you received from this, what it tuned in, what it amplified in you, what it expanded in you, right? You want to make sure you stay on for the frequency part, right? It is called the Melanin Frequency Vigil. So definitely stay with us, remembering that we are in the year of divine power. And as cosmic legacy holders, we actualize divine power on earth. So let's now just take a moment to, wait a minute, I see someone popped in here. All right. That's you? 240? All right, I'm gonna give it 1 second here. All right, I'm gonna add this Israel. Is this brother Israel?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. Welcome. Good to hear from you.
How you doing?
I am doing well.
So I'm working on just expressing myself and how how I really feel, is and just really thinking about what I need to say and just letting it be what it needs to be. Yes.
Ashe, Ashe, thank you. Thank you for coming forth and sharing that reflection. Give
Yeah.
thanks. Ashe. All right. So I give thanks for that. Love all of the reflections. And let's take a moment here. We're going to bring forward Priestess Mutmaat Nefer Habibullah, who is going to lead us. And we've been missing her, right? Because, I've been doing the breath. I've been saying, hey, okay, just look at the symbol and breathe one time, right? So, we've been missing her. And so we're going to have her come through and lead us in the focus part here. And I love y'all. It definitely has been my honor and my pleasure. I thank y'all all for coming through and sharing. Hotep.
Hotep, Hotep, give thanks. Please indicate in the chat whether or not I'm being heard, y'all. Ashe. Okay, y'all. This is my first time being in this type of position. It's definitely my honor to be back in the scene. Some of you already know, some of you know what I have actually been, challenged with. But I am so grateful for this melanin frequency. I said I was just gonna wait till it was time for me to come up, y'all. I'm do everything I can not to be long with this expression, but we move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. And my last what, 4 heptads, I believe, have definitely been a walk in that. Because every single area from my physical matters that I have to endure daily, and the spiritual ups and downs, because we are who we are. But even as gods, a lot of the stuff that's going on can have a tendency to, you know, bump us a little bit. And I have literally been enduring that. And I can honestly say how grateful I am for High Priestess. I can say how grateful I am for all of you. My heart is full. My mind, my mental is full. My whole body is full with gratitude and love, and even the joy, thinking of how much you care, not just for me, but for yourselves to be here. Okay? Because this will definitely take you to that next level of being exactly who you were incarnated to be. And I stand on my own 2 feet. I woke up this dawning and I breathed my first breath. So just like I said earlier this dawning, happy solar return to Ken 181. I said it to myself. Well, she is my physical body, my planetary partner and everything. So, in La Cash Alakim, we share one in the same. But I know that to move freely, which back last year in September, I really took a major shift in my journey and chose to be free, and unrestrained. And it's definitely been a challenge, but I can honestly say, I don't want to even look back at that to say, should I? Should I? Could I? No, no. Because look at what is going on. I mean, I've been down, my car has been down, what, 2.5 weeks, I believe. One week, the battery went out on me. The next one, the alternator. It was just saying, I don't want to crank up right now. So be still. Ooh, ooh. And then after being still, that physical, it's like, and because I had to be still, I couldn't go to physical therapy, right? I feel, I feel more healed now than if I'd have continued to go to physical therapy. Okay. Now I got my car back today. I was able to, get out there and drive and roll. And ooh, it felt good. Talk about moving freely, y'all, and unrestrained. I was doing the daggum thing today. So, you know, I just honestly can't say no more than when the challenges roll your way, still move freely and unrestrained in and through it all. Don't allow the physical and the spiritual, mental cares of the world to hold you back, to keep you from thinking like y'all said, to keep you from thinking that you're not any better, or better yet, that you ain't the God or goddess that you are. Man, High Priestess preaches. She preached to me yesterday, preached to me the day before. She be preaching to me even when she ain't even in my ear. But at the same time, it is what's needed. It's what I needed. And I'm just so grateful for her leadership, her wisdom, and her own personal, interpersonal, gifts and testimonies that she shares with us in these spaces. So give honor to you all. Let's go ahead and prepare ourselves for the focus. We're going to be using the third eye crystal singing bowl. All right, with the purple Nice, beautiful purple light. We're going to also be using the throat chakra crystal singing bowl. And I will ask if you could also indicate in the chat that you hear the bowls and the solar plexus yellow crystal singing bowl. Are you hearing everything clearly, even with me speaking? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I said she doesn't. You don't hear the bowls? We freely move unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. Give thanks. Sometimes, if you have headphones on, it will come through a lot clearer. If not, you may need to take it off the speaker if you have your phone on the speaker. Gently gaze at the Taurus symbol on the screen, if you would. Activating our third eye, the radioplasma for gamma. All right. I want you to start inhaling for 4 count through your nose and into the center of your forehead. And then hold that for 4 counts. And as you're doing this, sensing your pineal gland opening, just like the cosmic lotus, okay? And then exhale real slow for 6 counts. And when you do this, release the mental tension that you may have remember. Release that mental tension that may have come to your attention, all right, that caused you some kind of disturbance because you're moving freely now, unrestrained. The affirmation for this focus is our lineage is the union of intrinsic awareness as well as the ultimate sphere. We attain the power of peace. Yes. Now see the Taurus flowing through your third eye, infinite fluid and alive with wisdom. Breathing in your nose. Now I want you to start breathing for 5 count. And as you're breathing, make the sound with a hum when you exhale. Begin to hum. Inhale now for 5 counts. And hum on the exhale, softly vibrating your throat chakra. I move worlds through word, breath, and song. My voice aligns with truth and healing. Now begin to feel yourself attuned to the cosmic rhythm, stirring loving change in every sound that you release. Inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling slowly with hum. Now inhaling, see a golden light into your solar plexus. That's right at your belly. Exhaling slowly, whispering, ah, A, H, ah. Releasing any illusions, claiming your freedom. Ah, see the golden light entering your belly. Now move freely and unrestrained in the physical, spiritual, and mental world. We walk in presence, power, and peace. I walk in peace. I sing in light. I move through worlds pure and bright, free in soul, divine in birth. We actualize our love on earth as cosmic legacy holders. We actualize divine power on earth as cosmic legacy holders. We actualize divine power on earth as cosmic legacy holders. We actualize divine power on earth. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe O. My apologies to those of you who may not have been able to hear the full effects of the bowls. Hopefully, the next time I'll be able to figure another way to make that happen. Ashe, Ashe, and Ashe O. Give thanks for your presence, for yourself, for being here for yourself, and for the universe. Have a wonderful plasma evening.
the recording.
Come on, cameraman.
So, you
Yeah.
guys will be seated. Oh, no, we're going to sing.